welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my humble channel. Chintzia, J, Oat Dog, and Monotone, obviously, Bad 24. Thank you for joining me. So, basically, what I'm going to show you guys is how I draw ears, right? So, what I will do, I'll break it down in a more understandable way. If you haven't seen my work before, I do a lot of tutorials breaking down body parts, hands, the foot. As you can see, I've got here the human thigh. So I draw all of this without reference. So I can just draw these things without reference. Fortunately enough for me, I've practiced them enough that I can break it down and make it understandable for other people. So that's basically what my channel is about. It's not just about me, it's about you guys as well, because I expect you guys to draw as well. How you doing, Malik? How you doing? It's me, Malik. How you doing? You all right? So I do this for free. Let's just get the basics out of the way first. I do this for free. So it is like an online art lesson for free. However, everything has a catch. All I want you guys to do is hit the like button, share the post. That helps me. And invite your friends if they are interested in learning similar things. Anatomy, general drawing, what else? Anime. I do a little bit of anime stuff, hand drawing, many tutorials. So if that's pretty much all I ask of you. So please share the live stream, and then we can get into this. Just for the algorithms, as you all know, algorithms draw more eyes to me, and more eyes to me, then it gives me more enthusiasm to share. So it's for me, it's a win, but it's also a win for you all too. So what I will ask you guys to do as well is to grab a pen and a piece of paper. Thank you, Monotone, for sharing, and appreciate that. And Steffi, thank you very, very much. So if you grab a piece of paper and a pen, I will break down how I draw ears, right? So as you can see, I've just drawn that ear. So the time is now 9:02. So I don't know whether it's 30 seconds in or not, but look, I'm just going to show you how quickly and how accurately I can draw an ear. And then hopefully you will be able to do it very similar too. So I'm just coloring the cavity of the ear. And then that is pretty much all I would need for my style of artwork. And I'm hatching it up gently. Tack. So it's still 9:02. Okay, so that was under a minute. I did that in under a minute. Obviously, everyone's ear is individual, right? So all ears don't look the same, but chances are ears generally have the same sort of shape. How you doing, Raoul and Water Baby? How you doing? So good. Let's get into this. The reason I drew these ears was to show you there are certain principles that if you kind of grasp them, ears are not that much of a problem. So, just grabbing my colored pens. I'm going to turn this over actually. I personally, when I draw ears, you have to think of the basic shape of an ear. You could say it looks like a muscle. You could say it looks like an oval shape. Oh, these ones. I might be doing an anatomy one today. After this one, I will do a body anatomy one, because I was doing a bit of practice today. So I think I haven't done a body anatomy one for a while. I did a back one recently, but we can do a body one. That would be nice. I feel like it. So you can see I quite like drawing that. So let's get back to the ear. So if we imagine when I draw a face, right? One of the problems that you might have, I'm not sure if you do, But one of the problems that you might have is making your face symmetrical, right? I'm not going to go into face drawing as such, but if we've got a face like this, that should be center. I'm getting a bit scrappy here. So anyway, this is basically a face that we've got, and we want it to be symmetrical. Obviously, we want the eyes and the ears to be symmetrical, right? So there you go. Yes, exactly. So what you need to remember is we have proportions that we have to be aware of. I'm not going to go into them now, but there are proportions that we need to be aware of, and lines like so that determine where the eyes and the bridge of the nose are, and so on. The ears are the same. So what I would suggest you do is draw the ear geometrically. So like so, look. So I'm doing the same sort of shape here. All right. Why do I do it like that? Because I find if it's geometrical, I can round it off easier and gauge the shape a little bit better. It's easier for me to draw a shape like this twice because I can go straight. I can do straight lines. Do you see my point? And then you can round off your ear. Even if you have to reflect that ear, it's easier to reflect it. For me, I find it's easier to reflect it when I have this basic shape. This one's a little bit wider, but it's easier for me to now, okay, I've got my first ear shape. I've got my second ear. This one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to shorten it a little bit, but now I've got my second ear, and then it's just a case of adding the details within that, right? But the details are a bit of a mystery, I know, but that's what we're going to discuss in a minute. The camera is kind of lagging. I'm not sure why that is. I'm sorry. I can't, that I can't help you with. Guten Morgen, Gelchen. Freut mich. So, I am pretty much self-taught, if I'm honest. I'm a self-taught drawing millionaire. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. So you can, if you struggle with ears, start geometrically, like so. And then round it off. You see that? That's how you can get the basic shape of the ear. And then you can add some of the details. So we need to discuss some of these details now. And how do I recognize certain things in an ear that I can use, that I don't have to struggle and overthink what does an ear look like? Because that is also a bit of a problem. What does an ear actually really look like? So what I would suggest to you all is look at this. I hope the camera's better now. An elf ear. Yeah, we can do an elf ear. That is not very difficult, but let's just say if I'm imagining an elf's ear, it is something like I am not sure what an elf's ear actually looks like. So if it's a little bit wrong, I apologize. However, I would just model it on a human ear, like so. I'm not sure if that's the right type of elf's ear. But as you can see, I've got a very basic shape. We've got the cavity of the ear here. We can even connect it here if we really wanted to make it look a little bit more realistic. And then we would add some shading. And for me, if I drew an elf's ear and it came out like that, I think I would be quite happy. Not sure. I hope that helped you, Nola. Not yet. No, not yet. We're not dropping the pen yet. Take it easy, Raoul. Take it easy. So this is how you can use a very basic shape. Like here, I'm going to draw a pointed ear again. like so. Tick, tick. I'm going to turn that into an ear. Right, so now it connects to the side of the head here, as also to the side of the head. I'm going to add some mass to the ear. Don't ask me what these components are called of the ear, because I have no idea. But then I would have another elf looking type ear. In under a minute, I think, roughly under a minute. And then you could play with that. You can add some more details to it and whatever. So the mystery part is, has anyone got any questions? Yeah, exactly. An elf's ear is like a human ear, but we just stretch it. We just stretch it. Thank you for sharing it, Grow Thoughts. Much appreciated. And if you do like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like it, please share it. That would be great. That would be great. Remember, I feed off your energy. So if I'm in a room full of nobodies, then I fall asleep and I say, okay, I'm drawing this live to a close. Thank you very much. Goodbye. It's just the way it is. So anyone got any questions just about the shape of an ear, right? We can start it geometrically, and that helps us when we have to draw two. You are a little bit late, Des, but yes, you're early. No, you were early the other day. Mayara, how you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see Emma, Oat Dog, Roll, Moyne, Robert, Jimmy, Mario, Tonic, Baggy Bottoms, Nicola. Nice to see you all. It's kind of exactly. This is how, when I start the hand, if I draw a hand, I start it like so. So I was thinking of actually doing a hand drawing tutorial today as well, because I haven't done one for a while. It's been at least over a week, and this is pretty much my bread and butter because a lot of people struggle with that, and that's how I draw hands. Yes, everybody wants to know how to draw hands, and then I might do one today. So as you can see, I've blitzed this hand in around a minute, and this helps. Understanding it like this will always help when you have to draw it in other ways. So let's go back to the ear. So we are actually at the ear, and what I always try to remind myself, everybody needs hands. I know, everybody. So what I'll do is I'll do this one for only half an hour, and then I'm going to jump out, change the title, and then we can do maybe a hand or anatomy. Yeah, Baggy Bottoms, you're in the right place, mate. And if you haven't checked my TikTok, I have, my work is now categorized. So all of my, for example, hand drawing tutorials are now in a folder of their own. All of my anatomy drawings, and they're all categorized. That came with acquiring followers of 10,000. You are allowed to categorize your work. So that's what I have now done. I've categorized my work, so you can all go in there and just go straight to hand tutorials if you wish. So how do I break down the inner ear? What I remember, or I try to remind myself of, is the fact that we have what looks like a Y here. See that? Exactly, perks of 10,000. So when I'm thinking ear, if this is an empty ear here, I am thinking Y. Does that make sense? I'm going to wait. And if it does make sense, I guarantee you, in about 5 minutes, you'll be able to draw ears forever. And then I'm just going to have to... You ready, Raoul? Are you ready, Roll? Drop the pen. That's the drop the pen, mate. Look at that. So that's the hard part. This Y is the hard part. Why is my screen so small? Is it small on your side? I hope not. I'm going to make that bigger. That's annoying. Didn't see that. All right. Is that better? It was a bit small before, huh? But now it's a bit bigger. Good. Sorry about that. So there you go. So if you remember this Y part, all you have to do now. So let's break it down. We got our Y. And then we've just got, what would you call that? What would you call it? I don't even know what to call it. You have this part of the ear here. Let's just call it the I was going to say something, but it's not appropriate. These mounds here, like so. All right. You see that? That is simply, we are going to jut out here, stop here. And then it's a hard shape to explain. And then we add our Y shape. That's how I draw ears. Because all I have to do now is give that ear a width. Like so. And then we've got that. You see what I'm saying? And then that part of the ear connects to here. Let me do it again. We've got an ear, the shape of an ear here. We've got this curve here, always. We've got this curve here. And then we pop it out here, like so. We do it twice. And then the second one connects to our Y shape. And then we have our ear. I'm going to take a look at the chat in a minute. I'll just tidy that up. Like so. And let me just add a little bit more tone to differentiate where it's darker. The pink part is hard. However, if you imagine, just draw this shape again. Don't overthink the pink part, right? Now, what you do is here, you have to look at an ear as well. You know, you have to do your research. You have to just draw a part that pops out like so. Once, like so. Then the second one is like a U shape, right? So we do a U shape and it bends again. So then it's not hard really. So we've got one shape that's like this. The other one is like a U shape that bends like that. So imagine that's a bendy U. And then the last part is our thickened Y shape. And then we have our ear. I think that's pretty cool. The green part. If you look at the green part is this Y. It looks like a Y. If I draw a Y like this, going in the opposite, this is going in obviously in the wrong direction because it wouldn't be a Y. But it's a Y mirrored. If I mirror that again, it's still a Y, isn't it? But I flipped it. So that's all that is. And then it connects to here. Like here. Try it again, try again. You see that? We've got the ear. We pop it out here. We add our curly U and our thickened Y. And we've got it. I know it's a bit tricky. I know it's a bit tricky. No, not really. I don't think there is a difference. I don't think technically the ears are any different. Obviously, you don't have to draw your ear in the same shape. Some ears are slightly more boxy. This ear is probably more cartoon-like. So you probably have to add a few discrepancies in the shape. Obviously, you'd have to pay attention to the actual cavity and shading. But you got it. Rose got it. So we've got our curly U, right? So it's like a curly U. And then we jut it out here. That is all that we have here. We jut it out here. We have our curly U. And it continues to our Y. The Y shape. It continues from here. Anyone else got it? Anyone else that doesn't have it? I'm going to wait a little bit to see who's struggling. And if you're struggling, let me know. And we have got another 6 minutes. I'm not going to stay on this one for long. What are you struggling with? How it makes it less curvy. Angles. Not sure. Yeah, well, if you want to make it less curvy, then I think I know. There you go. Yeah, angle. There you go. So if the ear is too curvy, as you say, you can square it off a little bit because ears are not fully rounded, right? So you just slightly, you see, I'm slightly squaring it off a bit. This one, you see that? I've just added a slight curve to it and then I straighten it. This is very angular. So every now and again, I might add a bit of mass to it, curve it a bit, bulk it out here, make the lines less straight. And then we've got our ear. Like so. Oh, I'm not sure if I can help you with that, Matt. I'm not sure. If I wanted to draw a butterfly starting to fly upwards, I wouldn't even know what that looks like. Wouldn't even know. It's very difficult. And I wouldn't be doing that in this live anyway. Sorry. Because I don't mix my lives. I don't mix my lives. So, let me just see what's been. I think I've missed something. Sorry, emus. I don't know what you mean. Sometimes legs, but mostly female and male anatomy. Oh, what I draw? Yeah, we do the face, we do the nose, we do the ears. Pretty much everything. The feet, the toes, muscles, obviously. Yeah. No problem at all. Thank you for joining anyway. Have a lovely sleep. Oh, what you struggle with? Can you show? No, I'm not mixing the lives, my friend. Sorry, Matt, I can't do that. Because then when people join the live, they want to see ear drawing tutorials. I don't mix the lives anymore. I've had complaints about that because then people say it's become another tutorial. Take care, mate. It becomes another tutorial. We'll have to do that at another time. Don't do that anymore. I used to, but then I started to annoy people with that, so I've stopped doing it. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. If you got any questions, ask. Anyone got any questions? I'm gonna keep going here. Why not practice myself? So yeah, the dark part here is, you have to imagine it's like a hole, isn't it? That's going towards the ear hole. You see that? So it goes in. And what you have to imagine is, the closer you get to the hole, is the darker it gets. So I've shaded, if I've gone one level of shading here, if I go two, it makes it a little bit darker. And then we have the impression that the ear is deeper there. And then obviously we'd add a little bit more here and here. And even under here, we'd probably add a little bit of shading, because that's the lower part of the ear. And then we'd have the jaw, and we'd definitely add a little bit here. So it gives the impression that we've got a 3D object. Obviously, I'm not rendering it with a pencil. So with the pen is slightly different. But as you can see, it does still work when you add it like that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Sorry, I'm not mixing the tutorials. Not doing it. You have to join my Discord, or you can actually go onto my feed. I have got tutorials on my feed about the nose. Check my TikTok feed. That's the best I can do for you today. I am not mixing my live stream. Sorry, can't do it. Because then people start complaining. Well, I will be doing another tutorial in a minute. I will probably sign this one off now, and then we can do possibly a hand drawing one. But I was just quickly touching on this one. But I don't want to mix it, because then if I mix it, then we've got chaos on the page and chaos in the chat, because people say, well, but why are you drawing legs? And you said this is a, I don't know, eye drawing tutorial. I don't want that. Too much aggravation on my part. I would love to help you, but it needs to be done structurally. I need to structure it. So, good. Okay, well, that is that. I think we've covered it for now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to all those that hit the like button and shared. And thank you very much. Danke vielmal, Gelchen, für das Geschenk. I didn't see anything last night. I didn't go onto any Discord or anything last night. Sorry. I will have a look maybe today. I will definitely more than likely have a look later on today. Good. Okay. So this tutorial or this live stream is now coming to a close. I will probably simply shut this down, start a new one, and do a hand drawing tutorial. So the algorithms recognize that it's to do with the hands. So that's why I don't mix it as well, because then it messes everything up. So I wish you all a good day. To those that are maybe not going to attend the next live stream, and to those that are interested in drawing hands, we can do that in around 3 minutes. Catch you later. Take care. Bye-bye. Good.